We start again.
Yeah, can you start over?
So,
I was
sorry,
for you to give me the little
start
nod.
again so the recording goes. Shavuot is one of the most beautiful and underrated holidays in the Jewish calendar. Pesach is dramatic, Sukkot is joyful and visible, and Shavuot, is quiet. There are no shofars, no Sukkot, no matzah, and perhaps that is exactly its greatness. It is the holiday of standing before God Almighty and hearing that our lives matter. The Medrash says that when the Jewish people stood at the foot of Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, to receive the Torah, every soul, not only those who were physically present, but every Jewish soul that would ever exist in every generation, stood together. The Holy Baal Shem Tov explains that this means every Jew has a personal letter written in the Torah and a unique way of hearing God's voice. That means Shavuos is not merely remembering what happened long ago. It is asking, what is it that God is asking of me now? The Torah says, all the people saw the sounds. Normally we hear sounds and see sights. But at Sinai, all the senses were merged. The Kotzker Rebbe explained that truth became so clear that spirituality was no longer abstract. Godliness became visible, and it became a reality. Many people think faith means escaping reality. Judaism teaches us just the opposite. At Sinai, heaven came down to earth. The greatest revelation in history did not happen in heaven. It happened in an ownerless desert in the physical world. The message is profound. God does not want us to escape the world. He wants us to elevate it. He wants us to make it a dwelling place where he can feel at home, a dira b'takdonim. And that is why Shavuot is connected to ordinary things: eating dairy food, staying awake learning Torah, decorating with flowers, bringing first fruits. The holiest moment in history entered kitchens, homes, conversations, and daily life. The Sfat Emes says something remarkable. Every year on Shavuot, the light of Sinai returns once again, not symbolically, tangible spirituality. The gates reopen. A Jew can receive clarity, inspiration, renewal, and a new connection to God Almighty, his Father in heaven, and his Torah. Sometimes people think Torah is merely information, but Torah is life itself. The Zohar says God, the Torah, and the Jewish people are all one. When a person studies Torah deeply, sincerely, even imperfectly, they are attaching themselves to something that is eternal. And perhaps this is why we read the Gilith Rus, the book of Ruth, on the holiday of Shavuot. Ruth was not born among the Jewish people. She came from pain, loss, loneliness, and uncertainty. Yet she uttered one of the most powerful sentences ever spoken in Torah. Your people are my people, and your God is my God. Shavuot teaches us that greatness is not inherited automatically, it is chosen. Every Jew must choose Torah once again, not because of pressure, not because of habit, but because deep down the soul recognizes truth. The Hasidic masters explain that Sinai was actually a wedding between God Almighty and the Jewish people. The mountain was held over them like a chuppah, like a canopy. The tablets were like a ksuba, a marriage document. And Shavuos is the anniversary of that bond. But every marriage needs renewal. Marriage can be compared to a masterpiece in progress. So each year God asks us, will you accept my Torah? Will you accept me again? And every Jew answers in their own way. Some answer through learning. Some answer through prayer. Some through kindness. Some through returning after years away. And some, Rachmana litzlan, through tears. but every sincere movement towards holiness echoes Sinai. You know, there was once a simple Jew in a small village who could barely read Hebrew. Every Shavuot night, the synagogue was filled with great scholars learning deep Torah all night. However, this simple Jew, he sat in the back, embarrassed. He could not follow the arguments of the Gemara, the Talmud, or the mystical teachings that were discussed in the synagogue. Hour after hour, he sat there silently, and near dawn, he quietly slipped outside, and he began to cry. He whispered, "Master of the universe, everyone here brought you Torah. I have nothing to bring you. I cannot learn like them. I do not know enough words. But if I knew how to love you better, I would." There was no rabbi standing nearby that overheard his words. The rabbi himself was one of the greatest scholars in the region, and when he heard these words, tears filled his eyes. He later told his students, "You know, tonight I heard many brilliant explanations of Torah, but the gates of heaven opened from the prayer of that simple Jew." The Holy Baal Shem Tov taught repeatedly that God does not only listen to the brilliance of a Jew, he listens to the sincerity of a Jew. Shavuot is not only about how much Torah one knows, it is about how much Torah one is willing to receive. Sometimes the holiest words are not "I understand," but rather, "I want to come closer." And perhaps that is the deepest meaning of Sinai. The Jewish people stood together as one person with one heart. Before receiving the Torah, they first learned the concept of unity. Because Torah without humility can become ego. Torah without compassion can become cold. Torah without love can become only information. But Torah, joined with kindness, sincerity, and unity, becomes divine light. May this Shavuot bring clarity to the confused hearts, strength to the tired souls, healing to those in pain, inspiration to those searching, and renewed love for Torah and for God Almighty, our Father in heaven. And may we all hear in our own way the echo of Sinai once again. And with that, hopefully, let us bring the world to a time of the coming of the Mashiach, where peace will reign and goodness will be in the world, and all evil will disappear, and we'll love each other as we should, with love, prosperity, and good health. May God bless you and yours with all that is good. May it be a special year, that year that we've waited for in all of history. May this be the year we put in the last piece of the puzzle, and may God Almighty bless us again with Mashiach Tzidkeinu. Again, thank you for listening. God bless and be well. Chag Sameach. And please, again, make sure that you subscribe, push the like button, and please share with your friends. Even if it's not this, hug someone, love someone, smile at someone. Make it a better year. God bless you all. Thank you.